Good afternoon, teachers and fellow classmates. Now I'm in Tsim She Tsui. I would like to introduce the clock tower. Kowloon Canton Railway was designed by A.B. Hubbard, established in 1904, and the terminus was set in Tsim She Tsui. Construction of the station was complete in 1915, and the whole station started to run on the 28th of March in 1916. The clock tower reused the clock from the demolished Pedder Street clock tower. Originally, there was only one side of the clock, and the remaining three sides was installed in 1920. During the Japanese occupation of Hong Kong in Second World War, fire has brought substantial damage to the clock tower, leaving the marks of combat present to this day. Following the liberation of Hong Kong, the clock was reactivated on the 2nd of October 1945, and the use of the clock tower's bell was discontinued in 1950. In 1975, it was decided that the clock tower was to be preserved even though the Kowloon station had been moved to Hong Kong. The bell inside the clock tower was on display in Sha Tin Station from the mid-1980s to 1990. On the 13th of July 1990, the clock tower was gazetted as a declared monument under the Antiquities and Monuments Ordinance in Hong Kong. In 2010, in order to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Kowloon Norwu section of the Kowloon Canton Railway, the MTR Cooperation specially reproduced the bronze bell on the ground floor of the clock tower in Tsim She Tsui. This is now accompanied by the Hong Kong Space Museum, Hong Kong Museum of Art, and Hong Kong Cultural Centre, all built on former station grounds. Situated southwest of the terminus, red bricks and granite were used to build the clock tower in Edwardian classical riverview style. It stands 44 meters high, formed by a 6-story high square main building and a 2-story high octagonal domed turret. Windows with diamond patterns installed near the top tower. It is capped by a concrete dome mounted on a drum-like base. On top of the dome is a slender steel structure supporting a 7-meter lightning rod. There is a clock mechanism inside the clock tower that helps to make the clock tell what time it is, and that is the main use of the clock tower in the past. For Hong Kongers, the clock tower on the southern tip of the Kowloon Peninsula in Tsim She Tsui holds a lot of memories. Hong Kongers of his generation remember the clock tower being part of the Kowloon Canton Railway terminus, which is next to the Star Ferry Terminal. From there, trains load passengers to Guangzhou in southern China, where many bought other trains to which cities throughout the century. It was crowded, especially during the festival, as this is the main way to travel. However, due to the First World War, bombs and fights destroyed the station. Only the clock tower remained. It witnessed the change of Hong Kong in the last centuries, overcoming world wars and occupation of Japan and the rule of the British. The tower is the monument but also a souvenir for all the Hong Kongers to commemorate the historical case and events that have taken place in this place. Nowadays, the clock tower is an important landmark of Hong Kong. For example, the $50 banknotes issued by Bank of China are printed on the theme of the clock tower and the Hong Kong Cultural Centre in 2003. Also, the French artist, Mr. Paulo Grandjean, left 1,600 pandas to Hong Kong in 2014. 1,600 pandas appeared on the Avenue of Stars and Clock Tower in Tsim She Tsui. All of this show that the clock tower has an important role to local people and the foreigners. In conclusion, All of us should try our best to conserve this amazing monument.